Hey everyone, good morning. I'm doing my John Maxwell today and I'm enjoying the silence of being at home. I didn't wake up to see the meteors that were coming down. I've seen the Halley's Comet, so I wasn't really that interested. But I'm waking up earlier in the mornings, which is good, and sleeping through the night, which is also good, because when you are unemployed, your mind starts to worry about where's their next opportunity. It gets frustrating. You're worried about finances. So that's where the important comes in of our relationships. And today's lesson is on playing favorites. The message is from John 21 to 22. Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, "But Lord, what about this man?" Jesus said to him, "If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me." So when we are doing coaching, when we are doing speaking in our workplaces or for our teams, the worst thing you can do is to believe that you must treat everybody equally. That's what leads to your company deteriorating, going down, because you want to be able to nurture people who need the help to get to being at the top if they have the potential. And you want to reward your top people. You want to reward those who are achieving what they need to achieve to keep the company strong, to keep the organization strong. And when we give everybody equal time, money, or resources, we're not doing it to make people happy. We're doing it for the betterment of our organization. We're doing it for the betterment of our future. Nobody wants to work for a company that's not giving you a pension, that's not giving you adequate time off, that's not accommodating you for your health, for your religion. Nobody wants to work for a company like that, because everybody wants to be able to feel like they're making a contribution, they're helping the company to succeed, and that they are being put into positions where they can work on their strengths, not their weaknesses. If you put somebody constantly in a position where you're focusing on their weaknesses, in the end, it's going to do your company down. So that's what we try to remember, that every team player must be given support and encouragement. And poor performance or mediocre performance, it's not rewarded the same as outstanding performance. So you're not going to get the support for somebody to go and meet with prime ministers or meet with presidents if they're mediocre. Then they're not going to select somebody to do that. But if somebody is good, if somebody has demonstrated that they have the ability to represent your organization or your nonprofit and to do it well, and also push back when it's needed, then you're going to select that person for more opportunities in the future. And sometimes those opportunities come by chance. So when I went to a rally for the Liberals, this was when I was still volunteering with Bill Morneau, and they had organized for us from his office, because the Indian community was very heavily involved in his office. They organized for us to go to a rally where Justin Trudeau was going to be speaking. And the lady that was leading it, Sharon, she said, "I need 3 people to come with me. I need to do something." So I said, "Okay, I'll come help you." And then she said, "Stand here in the front." I said, "Oh, but what do you want us to do? Like, what do you want us to do?" She said, "Just stand here in the front, I'll tell you." And then she left us there and she went. And then the town hall started, the meeting started. And Justin Trudeau came up onto the stage, and then he came by and he shook hands with me and he smiled. He knows who I am. And then he went. And then I said to her, "But what did you want us to do?" She said, "Nothing. I just wanted to see who would step up and who would offer to help. And the two of you stepped up, so you got to be at the front and you got to see Justin Trudeau, you got to see the Prime Minister up front. So I was like, oh, okay. But sometimes that's what happens. Like if you step up, if people see that you are willing to help and you are building relationships, sometimes they'll select you for things like that. And it was nice to meet him. He was very gentle when he shook my hand. He's like Father Larry. Some of these men, when they shake your hand, you feel like your bones are going to break. That's how hard they shake it. And even one of the visiting priests that came to my parish, he says, Belinda, you're not the only one. He said, they used to shake my mother's hand so hard, her hand used to bleed. That's how hard they were, because I don't shake people's hands, because inevitably my hand lands up being sore like for a week. So that's just an example of how great coaches give opportunities, resources, and playing time according to your past performance, and even according to what you're doing now. And the greater the performer, the greater the opportunity. If you have somebody like Michael Jordan, you want to put the ball in his hands as often as possible. You want people on your team who are going to win for you, and you want to give people opportunities to rest as well. So you'll have companies where, they have benefits. Like when I worked at Credit Suisse, they had all these huge benefits that were not available to people outside. Like you could get opportunities to go stay at cottages for the best clothing, the best jewelry, and all those things are not available to people outside. But because the company has buying power, those things were available to their employees internally. And they were very excited. The team in New York was very excited when they found out I was working there. So, it's their loss. I mean, I don't know why they never called me back and they gave me hell and they put my family through hell. But at the end of the day, if you don't bring your best people back and you don't look after them, then it's on you. If you can't blame it on anybody else. There will be times that you aren't sure about a player's performance level because you haven't had time to observe him or her, especially the rookie player, the new player. Give that player frequent but small opportunities to determine his or her caliber of play, and that will show you how to respond. It will show you where your team members will be best placed. It will show you the opportunities that they take to lead, to nurture others, to help others. And I think this is a good message for developing the leaders around you. Because if we have moderate people on our team, we can look at where are their strengths and where can we help them develop. One of the greatest fears that people have is fear of criticism. And you'll find that, especially for children, they get very, very hurt if the criticism is coming from their parents or their grandparents, and that hurt stays in them. What we are nurturing in our children is what they will become. And John Maxwell gives powerful examples. Other writers give powerful examples. Napoleon Hill gave an example of how a mother used to always tell her son, you are going to land up in a penitentiary. And every day she would tell him that. And before he was 18, he landed up in a penitentiary. So it's important not to do that to your children. It's important to speak to their strengths, speak to their good qualities, speak to what they're doing. If they're failing, you could say something like, you know what, I know you didn't do so well there, but look at how well you did in this area. That's why when our teachers write, or they used to write our report cards, they always used to try to put something good in there about what we did as a child, especially when we were growing up, because that's how they nurture those strengths and that's how they get those strengths to shine. For me, I was selected to have my essays sent to the Enid Blyton competitions in Britain. And I never expected to win, but the teachers believed in me. They used to always say, "We're entering your essays, we're entering your writing." And I used to say, "Why?" They say, "No, you're very good." But they used to enter it, and I always used to win. I always used to come first. So sometimes it takes other people to see those gifts in you, to see where you can shine, and that's how you excel. Eventually you find that that's your gift. That's why I work well in communications, in writing. I've written company policies. I've written updating handbooks. I've written communications that go out to the public for schools that I've worked at. So those are all things that were nurtured in my childhood and that other people saw, the attention to detail. And it's not necessarily things that are easy for me, but it's things that I can keep working on. Even journaling, that's one way of doing it. And when it comes to faith, I use this book sometimes. It's Stormy Orman, The Power of a Praying Woman, a help for a woman's journey through life. And today I looked at the scripture, Revelation 22:5. They need no lamp nor light of the sun, for the Lord gives them light. And this was a nice scripture to reflect on my dependence on God, trusting Him each day, grateful for each breath, determined to look for the blessing in each moment, no matter what my circumstances. And also, because I have so much going on, I distance myself from people where I feel it's necessary. And I just say, okay, you know what, until I get that job, until I'm in a better place, I'm not going to be available. Sometimes you have to set those boundaries. So for me, especially in this hot weather, I get sores in my mouth. I have to make sure I drink a lot of water. And I get them like right at the back of my throat. So there's nothing you can do. It's right on the esophagus, right where the tonsil and the throat meet. So there's nothing you can do. You have to make sure you drink lots of water, stay hydrated. And I'm a high-risk person because of my high blood pressure and the anxiety as well. So I know that, okay, I have to take care of myself. I have to eat properly. I have to make sure that I try to eat early. So I do all those things. But the most important thing is learning more and more to trust God with every step I take, because I don't know what that next step that I take is going to bring, whether it's going to bring good or bad, but I can trust God in that, and I can depend on Him, and I can follow His lead, even where I can't see where I'm going, even if I'm scared, even if deep within my spirit I know that these steps are preparing me for what's coming in the future. So that's the scripture I reflected on today for my John Maxwell and for this book. Whenever we're walking in new territory, it's hard. Whenever we are pioneers, rather than having people there who can help us, it's hard. Because no matter whose journey it is, it's their journey. My journey is different to your journey. So other people can say what they think, what worked for them. It may not work for me. So we face physical, mental, and emotional challenges, and I know I can't achieve it without His power and without that power of hope. That's why I turn to St. Jude. It's that power of hope. And I turn to St. Joseph the Worker, asking for his intercession and Our Lady's intercession in her tenderness to guide me to that right place. So those are my reflections for today. I hope it helped you. And if you know of anyone looking for somebody with my skills and my talents, then get in touch with me. Obviously, I don't want to be in a place where I'm being abused and I have to take abuse. I'm not interested in that. I did it for 5 years and it's too much. It's like that video I posted on Facebook, this guy was, I think they were trying to take the hair out of the ear and they put wax on the whole ear, and the guy's pulling and pulling and pulling on this black man's face, and then eventually pulls it off and he hurt him. And this guy's got a smile on his face, the guy's that's doing it. And the man started crying. I mean, we also have to think about how our workplace policies are affecting how people do their work and how the employees being affected. We don't want people who are going out there where it's only the next sale that matters, it's only the next deal that matters, it's only the next profit that matters, when our communities are being hurt. That's, it's important, because for Canada to be in the state that it's in, it's sad. It's sad because it's been going on since 2007. Anyway, we can offer our prayers and we can focus on relationships, and relationships that are going to enhance our well-being, our emotional stability. Sometimes our relationships don't keep us healthy spiritually, so we need to nurture those relationships. Like for me, I have my cousin Ricardo. He's studying to become a Jesuit priest. I told him, you must keep in touch with me and we'll be available for each other if we need to talk. I told him, if you come to Toronto, come see me. There's houses here that some of the Jesuits stay in, which are not that far away from me. So I don't go to priests' houses and things like that here. I'm not comfortable. In England, I went because my friend Bruce was there, and I'd known Bruce for many, many years before I went to the Jesuit house. And even when he invited me for lunch, I was reluctant to go. I said, no, I don't want to come there. And, he said, no, come, because then you can meet the priests and then we can see who we can find for you for spiritual direction. So that's why I went, because it was all men. So I wasn't comfortable. But because Bruce was my friend and because I trusted him, that's why I went. So it's important to remember that about boundaries as well, and who we are and who I am, because who I am is also important in this journey. When I'm coaching others, when I'm being a speaker, when I'm helping others, it's important to remember what my boundaries are as well. It's not only about the other person. And so that's what I wanted to share today. Right relationships will enrich and balance you, and they will give you a healthy perspective. Hopefully the connection was better today and it didn't chop up. Yesterday it was bad. It was very choppy.